All right, today we're talking about building something that's absolutely unbreakable, your mind. And we spend so much time focusing on our internal discipline, our willpower. But what if the biggest threat to your mental strength isn't even coming from inside you? What if it's coming from the outside? That's what this is all about. This training is designed to help you master your environment so you can forge a mind that literally cannot be broken. So let's get into it. This quote right here, this is our starting point. We're going to dive deep into the forces that are shaping you from the outside in. Because here's the thing, who you let into your circle, that's not just a social choice. No way. It's a strategic decision. And it defines the absolute ceiling on what you can achieve.
And this is why this is so critical. Think about it. You can do all the internal work. You can have insane discipline, total focus, control over your emotions. But all of that can just get slowly eroded, poisoned even, by the wrong environment. It's like trying to build a fortress on quicksand. It's just not going to hold. So today, we're going to build on solid rock.
Okay, so here's our game plan. First up, we're going to tackle the power of your associations, your circle, your ceiling. Then we'll get into the courage it takes to stand on your own 2 feet on your own vision. After that, we'll lock in the foundation with unshakable self-belief. And to wrap it all up, we're going to turn all this knowledge into a real, concrete commitment. All right, let's dive into our first pillar, the people you allow into your professional life. And look, this is way more than just networking. This is about being an architect, architecting the very environment where your biggest thoughts and ambitions are either going to flourish or just wither and die. Now, I want you to really get this. This isn't just some nice opinion or a feel-good self-help quote. This is being presented as a law, like gravity. It doesn't care if you believe in it. It just is. The way the people closest to you think, the habits they have, the standards they hold, all of that creates a ceiling that you will find almost impossible to break through on your own. And this influence, it's happening all the time. It's constant. And a lot of the time, it's so subtle you don't even see it. Excellence is absolutely contagious. But guess what? So is mediocrity. Discipline spreads, for sure, but so does negativity and a limited mindset. Over time, the standards of your circle just become your own default setting. It happens without you even realizing it. It's like a slow, steady drip of influence, day in and day out. So that leads to a really important question you've got to ask yourself, and this is where you have to be brutally honest. Just think for a second. What are the dominant conversations in your professional life right now? Are people talking about how to scale the next mountain, or are they just complaining about the rocks in the path? Is the energy about building something great, or is it about blaming someone else? What kind of energy is being pointed in your direction every single day? Okay, so to help with that honest assessment, here's a framework. This is your tool. First, you've got the elevating associate. You know this person. You finish a conversation with them and you immediately just want to go work harder. They make you uncomfortable, but in the best possible way. What do? Protect and invest in that relationship. Seriously. Then there's the neutral associate. They don't really lift you up, but they don't drag you down either. Your action here is to just manage their access to you. But here's the one you got to watch out for, the diminishing associate. This is the person who brings that gravitational pull of complaining, of limitation, of always seeking comfort. The action for them, it's clear, and it's absolutely non-negotiable. You have to minimize or eliminate that influence. And let's be crystal clear on this. Building what we'll call a circle of giants. That's not about being arrogant. It's not about being elitist. It's a strategic discipline. It's about protecting your thinking environment because your mental space is your single most valuable asset. The top performers out there, they are fiercely, fiercely protective of it. And you need to be too. All right, so we've handled the external environment. Now, we got to turn inward for what is truly the ultimate test of a dominant mind. Because once you've curated your circle, you have to face the real challenge. Can you hold on to your vision, your standards, your mission, without needing a single person to clap for you? I mean, just think about it for a second. Every single breakthrough, every company that changed an industry, it started as some crazy, unpopular, unproven idea in one person's head, alone. If you're the type of person who needs everyone to agree before you make a move, you're signing up for a life of mediocrity. You'll only ever build things that have already been approved. You'll always be playing catch-up. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? It perfectly illustrates the journey. It's such a critical reminder that if you're trying to do something great, your path is going to be paved with loneliness and ridicule long before you ever see any celebration or respect. You have to be willing to walk that lonely road first. Now, this doesn't mean being blindly arrogant. Not at all. This is about earned self-trust. It's that deep, quiet confidence you get from knowing you've put in the reps, you've done the work. You have to get to a place where you understand that doubt from other people isn't a stop sign. It's not an obstacle. It's the test. It's the test you have to pass to prove that you're actually right. And this is where it gets really interesting. There's this beautiful paradox. See, people are naturally drawn to certainty. When you operate with this unshakable conviction, a conviction that doesn't need their permission, you become a source of gravity. Real leadership isn't about running around trying to gather followers. It's about embodying a vision so clearly, so powerfully, that other people can't help but be compelled to follow. Okay, so this brings us to the bedrock, the foundation. This is the final pillar, and it's the one that holds everything else up. Your circle, your courage to stand alone, all of it. Without this piece, everything else is built on shaky ground. We are talking about an unconditional, unshakable faith in your own power. Just take a look at this comparison. It's so important. On one side, you have external belief. The world is filled with talented people who are just waiting for a boss, a mentor, someone to believe in them. But that kind of foundation, it's shaky. It depends on things you have zero control over. A dominant mind, on the other hand, builds internal faith. It's structurally sound because you built it, brick by brick. And that means only you can decide its fate. And listen, a storm is always going to hit. It's not a matter of if, but when. The supporters will disappear, the applause will stop, and in those moments, all that external validation you were chasing, it's completely worthless. The only thing that will pull you through is the faith you built in yourself, day by day when the sun was shining. That's why it's the only faith that really matters. So, the big question is, how do you actually build this? Well, it's not magic. It's a process. Number 1, evidence. You build a track record. You intentionally do hard things again and again to prove to yourself that you can. Number 2, standards. You hold yourself to an incredibly high standard, especially when no one is watching. That's when it counts the most. And number 3, identity. You make a choice. You operate from the chosen identity of someone who endures, someone who wins. The feeling of confidence doesn't come first. The identity does. The confidence follows the choice. Okay. We've laid out the principles. We've covered the what and the why. But let's be real. Information without action is completely useless. It's just entertainment. So this final section is all about action. It's about turning these ideas into a hard, concrete, non-negotiable commitment. And this right here, this requires radical, brutal honesty with yourself. No performing for anyone else, no excuses. Where are you still surrendering to weakness? Where do you compromise on your standards? Where do you find yourself looking for approval when you already know what the right thing to do is? Where do you let the wrong people drain your energy? You gotta be specific. All right, I want you to use this inventory right here. In that first column, write down the evidence of your dominant mind. What is your greatest strength? This is your anchor. This is proof that you are capable. Now, in the second column, this is where the work is. Where do you surrender to weakness? Identify your single greatest gap. And look, this isn't a reason to feel shame, not at all. This is your new frontier. This is the territory you are now going to claim. So take a second, anchor in your strength, and then face your frontier without any judgment. And here's the plan. Here is how you conquer that frontier. For the next 90 days, this is your sole focus. Step 1, identify it. Circle that single biggest gap from your inventory. Step 2, define your action. What is one specific daily action you can take to build dominance in that one area? And step 3, declare your commitment. Write it down, say it out loud, state it without any apologies or qualifications. This isn't a nice to have or a vague intention, this is a commitment. And making that declaration, that's your first act of dominance. Because this is the ultimate goal. It's not just about thinking differently, it's about becoming someone whose very presence communicates strength and certainty before you even open your mouth. You control your mind, you control your world. This is the identity you are forging, day by day, one disciplined action at a time. So, we end with one final question. And this one is all for you. Look back at that inventory. Look at the commitment you just made. What is that one frontier that, if you conquered it in the next 90 days, would change everything for you? Your job is simple. Define it, declare it, and then go dominate it. The training is over. The work starts right now.